Drive so fast. Congratulations, world champion Mark Webber.
Thanks,
How does
Susie.
that sound?
Yeah, it's great. Really, really good effort from the whole team at Porsche. To take Audi on, I think, in our second year, really. I mean, Audi have been the benchmark for so long, so to put the manners on them really quickly was a great team effort.
Yeah, we couldn't put Alan next to you in case there was a little bit of a fight going on, being an ambassador
right.
there for Audi.
He is.
The difference, please. I'm sure we'd love to know the difference between Formula One and current-day sports cars. I mean, fuel saving that we see in Formula One, how does that work in?
Yeah, it's very minimal, actually, Eddie. So I think the best guy to actually talk to is probably Nico Hülkenberg. When he came and tested the car the first time, he says, I've got to push every single lap. I said, well, yeah, we do. So the 24-hour races, the 6-hour races, you really have to cane the car as much as you can. There's very, very little discussion about saving your tyres, looking after your tyres, how many tyres you've got for qualifying, whatever. I mean, I think it's a little bit more purist. I'd love it to be like that here. It was like that here. I think we can edge our way back to that. But, you know, I'm really enjoying the cars. Are quick, they're sexy, they're mega lap times, and a bit of fun with the teammates as well, so good for an old dog like me.
So, it sounds like you're having an amazing time. We could give you driver of the year from our awards. We've got more of those awards tomorrow, by the way. That was part one, so more to come tomorrow. Abu Dhabi, mixed emotions here, or do you sort of put it all behind you?
Yeah, it's all behind me pretty much. I think yeah, it was never a favourite track of mine, but the atmosphere you can't fault. I think it's world-class facilities. It's a twilight race, so that's a beautiful atmosphere for the guys at home on TV, the way you guys shoot the event. So that works really, really well. It's unique under the hotel. So, yeah, it's not Silverstone, it's not Spa, it's not Suzuka in terms of challenging for the driver, in my opinion, but it's still a technical little track and one to get right in terms of, track temperature and all those type of things, which you got to get right.
So still challenging.
Don't need to remind everyone at home that you could and should have won the championship here all those few years ago, but that's not a question.
You just did.
The question is, we heard from Sebastian saying that, this tittle-tattle going on between Lewis and Nico is child's play compared to you and Sebastian in your day when you were banging wheels and running into each other. Come on, give us some insight to that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was pretty intense. I think we saw in Turkey in particular, obviously, we did take each other out for the lead of the race. So there was tough moments, no question about it. I haven't been following the whole Nico and Lewis scenario super closely, but obviously from personal experience, I think, Seb and I, deep down there was some respect there, no question about it, but there was no love lost at the end, obviously, and we saw obviously Malaysia, and we saw other scenarios where it was pretty intense, and it got pretty personal, actually, and then you really, it gets ugly pretty fast and gets toxic pretty fast. So I think it was a bit more tasty what probably went on with us two than probably what's going on with Lewis and Nico.
But he did qualify it as always, and he always said that there was great respect for you and him. Is that how you see it?
Yes, I think so, mate. Yeah, absolutely. I think that in the end, I come here when Seb won the championship that year, given the year that we had in 2010, which was really hard for me, to finally see the championship slip through my fingers. And mind you, I picked a pretty tricky year to try and take Lewis and Fernando and Seb on. I didn't get that right, mate, did I? So it was a tough year. No. But and I went to one of these rooms here. It was probably that room there, and I went up, and Seb was in his room on his own, just taking it all in, and the emotion of him winning his first world championship, being the youngest in a long time, obviously, and just went and shook his hand and said, mate, yeah. Well, I think the relief between the pair of us actually was like, okay, it's sort of over, but one of us had to get it, and he led the championship for one race that year, which was here, that's just the way it was.
Yeah, it was an extraordinary year, wasn't it? Just quite quickly, pole position today.
Probably Nico. I think he looks good in P3, doesn't he? 2/10 is a pretty decent margin here, but if you, it's been interesting, hasn't it? I've seen what's the last few races. The first run in Q3 has been interesting. Who gets that real heavy marker down? I think they nearly overdrive a little bit in that next attempt. So it'll be interesting to see the Q3 how they go between those two.